The last financial crisis has forced a lot of major changes within the wealth management industry.
Here's what some of the leaders in the wealth management and family office space have to say about how the industry has been and what the future holds.
The wealth management industry has faced a number of really serious problems in the last few years. Regulation has been piling in from all angles: America, Europe and the UK. Of course, the credit crunch did not help, set back everyone's portfolios very disastrously in some cases, and made clients think hard about whether they should leave their money with wealth managers.
I think the wealth management industry in the last few years, anybody would admit that they've had challenges. There's both the investment environment and then there's the regulatory environment. And I think with regulation there are a number of challenges and costs that have to be met. And I think what's going to be quite interesting is how the wealth management industry starts to develop over the next few years.
The wealth management industry in the last few years has been an interesting place, to say the least. And I think it's probably best looked at by the fact that it's become a very regulated environment, or much more seriously regulated environment, on the back of a lot of individuals in this country and around the world having had their wealth pretty hammered or destroyed by mis-selling inappropriate products which are being foisted towards them.
The industry, which was very secretive, has been pushed, number one, into the limelight, which has caused a lot of complexities to arise. Wealth management, as part of that business, of course, has had a huge upheaval as well, in terms of the crisis, of course, the financial crisis, but also the change in atmosphere of how people manage their wealth.
The family office market has been an interesting one over the last few years. Firstly, we have seen the economic crash have an impact on family offices. Obviously it's had an impact on everyone, but particularly wealthy people, and that has led to a more conservative approach in their investments.
RDR is a good and a bad thing, you could argue. The good thing is it's probably got rid of quite a lot of bad salesmen or individuals who are not really understanding the industry but are in there just to sell products and try and make a fast buck. And so we're sort of, hopefully we've seen an improvement in the quality of service that individuals are going to get in the private wealth management industry.
The change in the regulator from the FSA to the FCA and the PRA I think has been a real challenge for banks and asset management companies. You know, we've got two new regulators that are developing and evolving. Their thought process, I think, is changing from that of the FSA. There's European legislation coming in.
I think the future for wealth management is going to be extremely difficult for the next few years. The number of organisations are having to rethink their business model to move from a situation where they make most of their money by actually marketing products to clients while claiming to be the client's trusted advisors, and that you can't really be both. And I think a lot of people are going to struggle to make enough money out of the pure advice that they give their clients without making money by selling them products.
This change, of course, is that a lot of the private banking aspects, which used to be outsourced to third parties, family offices are now trying to internalize them and bring them into the fold of what the family office is expert in doing. But that also causes a lot of problems, because suddenly you need to become an expert in a lot of different things that you used to advise third parties to do for you.
We have heard of a lot of single family offices wanting to merge and becoming multi-family offices, or to join a pre-existing multi-family office. The benefit of that is to share resources in terms of operational costs, but also the opportunity to share ideas.
Their main focus should be on the client and delivering a service and investment return to clients.
We've also got to manage expectations for clients. I think that's a very important thing to bring to their attention. When an individual comes in, they expect a 5–6% rate of return for not really taking much risk. This is obviously not going to be available to them, so management of expectation is really quite key. In the next few years, I think it's probably going to be a continuation of what we've already witnessed. There is definitely the implementation of further regulation coming in, I would have thought, protecting clients. The other thing which is going to be interesting from a business point of view for new entrants into the wealth management arena is the awareness that, as I was mentioning, the rates of return for risk-free investments are de minimis.
I think the financial environment is slightly more encouraging, with the world looking as though it's crawling its way out of the slump. America particularly, but now in a small way the UK and Europe.
I suspect we have to be pretty competitive now in order to keep and grow business.
Undoubtedly, we've already seen a growth in the number of family offices out there, and going forward I do envisage there'll be more and more newer family offices being created.
Family offices are becoming more professionalized. The capabilities are growing within the family offices themselves. They're no longer simply the right-hand man of the billionaire or the millionaire.
As you've just heard, the wealth management and the family office space is a changing environment. To grow a successful team, you need to follow the new methods of sourcing, hiring and retaining a successful team. To find out how, please enter your details here for your free, no obligation report.
Whether you're a family office or a wealth manager, when you receive this report on the changing industry, you'll learn how to adapt like your competitors when it comes to sourcing and attracting new talent. On behalf of Agreus, we wish you continued success.